if your telescope has mirrors inside it, like this Newtonian I have here, then it's going to need something called collimation, which essentially means you need to align the internal mirrors, and you're going to do that in order to make sure you get the best performance out of your telescope.
A Newtonian telescope consists of an optical tube with a primary mirror at the end. Towards the front of the telescope you will find a secondary mirror that sits at a 45-degree angle that reflects the light down the focusing tube. In order to get the best possible image, you need to make sure that you're using the center of the primary mirror, as that is where you're going to get the cleanest image and the roundest stars. In order to do that, we of course need to make sure that the primary mirror is not tilted, because if it's tilted, it's only going to be the light from either one edge or the other that's going to hit the secondary mirror, meaning that we are no longer using the perfect center of the mirror and we're actually a little bit off center. In a similar fashion, if the secondary mirror is not perfectly sitting at a 45-degree angle, you're also going to end up with basically having the light not going straight up the focusing tube, and you're shooting off axis. And the process of aligning these mirrors is called collimation.
Now, there exists a number of different tools that you can use for collimating your telescope. You can use something like this. This is called a Cheshire eyepiece. This is essentially just a small eyepiece that you can use. You look through the small hole at the top here, and then at the bottom, there's this plastic reticle with circles on it, but usually you would just have a crosshair that you can use. And these are mechanical, pure mechanical. There's no batteries, nothing. A lot of people swear to these. Also, some people also say these are the most accurate. Alternatively, you can use something like this. This is called a laser collimator. These are both laser collimators. They shoot lasers or a laser beam down the tube of the telescope, bounces off the mirrors, and then it returns back to the reticle that you can see here, target reticle on it. And in this case, the target reticle is this plastic screen here. And then based on where that lands, we can then fine tune and adjust the telescope. And finally, we have something called an electronic collimator. This is just a camera you put into the focusing tube, hook it up to a computer, and by using some specialized software, you can then accurately collimate your telescope. So we're going to start by taking our laser collimator, and we're going to insert it into the focusing tube and just make sure that that's firmly locked in. Then we're going to move the focusing tube to the lowest position, so don't keep it up here. Put it down as low as you can, and if you have things to lock it in, it's a good idea just to lock it in for now. We can now go ahead and turn it on. We do that by just turning the knob up here at the top. That's what you usually do. What you should see now is that there should be a small laser dot right there on your target screen. I'm not sure how well this shows up on camera. Now, if you don't see that laser dot there, what you need to do is, probably need to do it anyway, take off the front cap of your telescope and then carefully run your hand in front of the telescope like this and look for that laser point hitting your hand. Because if you are too far off, so that actually misses the secondary mirror entirely, so it goes down, bounces down, hits the primary, and then misses the secondary on its return, it's gonna come out the front. And in a minute, we're gonna be looking down the tube. And you don't wanna look down the tube with lasers coming out of it, because if you hit the eye, then you have a problem. So if you don't see the laser point here on the reticle itself, try to find it by moving your hand over, and when you know where it is, then you know which side is safe to look into, so you don't get that laser point in your face. The next thing we need to do is we need to now look down the tube of the telescope. And down there at the bottom, you might see a tiny donut. This is extremely difficult to focus on. You can see the laser dot hitting just to the side of it. Now that means that my secondary mirror here, which is the mirror you can see right here, is not perfectly collimated. So now's a good time to talk about what we actually see inside here. You will often see 3 screws here, here, here. Those are the tilt adjustment screws, and then a locking screw at the center. We can see the focusing tube up here coming down through the center of the telescope. Usually, you would not need to move the center one here. I usually only do that once or twice a year. If you're very far off collimation, then you might have to open this. When you open or loosen this screw, you can take the entire secondary mirror, which sits right back here. You can see it back there. And you can turn that. So you can turn that like left to right if you want to. Usually, if like here where I'm pretty close, I can get away with just adjusting these 3 screws here. So I'm gonna get my screwdriver from my toolkit, and I'm just gonna slowly turn these screws ever so slightly. Something like that looks pretty good. And we're talking super small, super fine adjustment. A 16th of a turn is a lot in this case. And if you're very far off, again, as I said, you might have to open that center screw, rotate the entire thing. Usually we're just talking minor adjustments just to get the final tilt perfectly aligned. So now we can go back up here, look at our collimator, and we can see here the laser dot there is not hitting the center of the reticle. It's still off. And that means our primary mirror, the big one at the bottom, is also off the correct alignment. And we need to adjust that as well. So now we can jump down here and we can look at the end of the telescope. Back here, you will likely see 6 individuals, either screws, or in my case, it has these bolts with these nice caps so you can move them with hand. You might have to use tools for this. Now in my case here, I have 3 black screws and I have 3 white screws. Normally the smaller ones would be the locking screws that locks the primary mirror in place. And the larger ones is going to be the adjustment screws we use to make adjustments to it. In my case here, the white bolts here is the lock and the black ones is the adjustments. So what I would do in this case here is I would start by loosening up the locking screws. These are the whites for me. Usually that's the small screws on most normal telescopes. Once they are just, loose with my hands, now I have to go up and look at the laser dot up at the collimator at the top, and then I need to make fine adjustments to these 3 bolts here until I get that laser dot hitting the center. I'm just gonna attempt to see if I can both record and do this at the same time. So you can see there the laser dot right there, we're not centered. I'm gonna try to turn one of the bolts here, and now you can see how it moves around. That means I need to move in this direction. We're moving close to the center. Okay. There, we're pretty good, I think. We're still hitting it right on the edge, so I need to adjust with the others. Oh, camera as well here. That's not the right direction. There, now you can see it disappeared there into the center. And that means now the laser is coming perfectly down, hitting the secondary mirror, hitting the front or the center of the primary mirror, bouncing straight back and straight out that hole there. With that done, I can now go ahead and take my locking screws here. I can turn those in. Again, you don't need to make them super tight, just hand tight is enough. And again, if you're using tools, be careful not to over tighten these, else you can end up with what's called pinched optics, where the mirror will actually get bent slightly out of shape if you tighten these too much. So just, hand tight so that it just keeps the mirror in place without like locking it down. But once you've done that, we can now turn off our laser and we're ready to go. And that's it. Your telescope is now collimated and you're ready to go and do some stargazing. I am planning to cover more different methods on how to collimate with different tools. Specifically, I'm actually looking at trying to manufacture my own electronic collimator so we can try and play around with that as well. So stay tuned for that in the future. And as always, video suggestions or any comments and feedbacks is very welcome in the comment section below.
22,500 just for the optical tube. Now we don't have any cameras or filter wheels or trackers or anything on it, so it was a pretty simple fix. Just unscrew this extension tube and move the entire camera